Using the 16-inch M3 Max MacBook Pro in some of my newest projects have really been a dream. It's been working really great, but I mean that's something you expect from a really expensive Apple product. First of all, in this video I want to show off two parts of two new projects I made solely on this machine in both Logic and Ableton. And we will take a look a little bit at the performance, what VSTs I use in those projects, and how it performs. In a later video we are going to take the same projects and see how they perform on an M3 MacBook Air 16 gig. Stay subscribed if you want to see that video. It is in the mail and arriving hopefully soon. I don't actually have a stack of laptops here. We are not there yet in the YouTube journey. This M3 Max is the upgraded one with 48 gigabytes of memory. It has 1 terabyte of storage, and it's the currently fastest M3 CPU with a total of 16 cores, where 12 of them are performance cores, which are the type of cores you are mostly using in music production in these kinds of softwares. Let's take a look at the projects and see how they perform. So here we have Logic, it's version 11.01 and I'm running Mac OS, apparently, version 14.5, M3 Max 48 gig. By the way, if you want to see kind of how many tracks this computer is able to play, I have other videos about that, so check the link that appears above for that type of video. This is not that type of video. We have a performance thing here. So this is showing the clock speed, some temperature and utilization here, and then this one thing here. Let's just play a few parts here to see what we are up against. We have 23 tracks with different stuff. So the first one here is a kick, so that's sample based, just an audio file, and then we have the kind of MIDI tracks for the external synthesizer, the Moog subsequent, but it's freezed, so this is also an kind of audio file. Then we have some automation track for the Moog here. Then we have some more samples here, so all blue stuff here are samples. So we have a drum loop, hat loop, and here we have a closed hi-hat, clap, snare clap. This is using the sampler in Logic. I don't think that is that demanding. Then we have some pads running here. We have Legend. We have Diva. So Diva actually is multicore is actually turned off. I should have it on, I think. We have Serum and we have Repro and more Repro. You can see that I like these analog things. And then we have something included in I don't mean Ableton, I mean Logic. There's sculpt synth here. But anyway, if we take the most part with most stuff going on here and we just loop it a little while, and we can take a look at the power usage here, the frequency, temperature and utilization, and we can just loop this a little while and I will kind of speed up the video, so we'll see what happens on the statistics here. Yeah, so I think that's enough. So this track is actually finished. It's released. It's going live on Spotify. It's called Glow, if you're interested. We could see here in CPU utilization, it barely went over 30%. So it was around 25, 26. And we can see here also the temperature is doesn't seem like it's getting that high. So 67. No fan noise from the laptop, by the way. If you're interested in that, there is no fan noise when you do this. And the power usage, you can see that here. So it's way below. But honestly, this is not really a complicated project. It's just 23 tracks. But I just wanted to show you how this just works when I do stuff on this. I have Spotify open. I have some stuff open here. So Mail, Chrome, stuff like that. So things are running. And I also, of course, recording my screen using OBS as well here. So as you can see, not all efficiency cores. So it says Whitelse, that means performance cores in Norwegian. So you can see that not all performance cores was used there as well. But again, this is a pretty beefed up Mac, so to be expected. In terms of plugins, so I use, you can see here on the mixer, in this particular track I use the included EQ, often in Logic, so I use the channel EQ. Good EQ, but HQ is activated here, you can see that. So oversampling, I guess, high quality. The types of plugin I use is, yeah, sometimes I use the included plugins in Logic, actually wanted to increase the sub bass a little bit there, using a delay plugin, the compressor from Logic, LFO tool to duck some of the sounds to the kick there. Basically, I use that on a lot of tracks here. I don't know if I use any special plugins that use a lot of CPU, but I think this one perhaps use a little bit. I'm not sure. Of course, the Diva synthesizer is using often a lot of CPU. Actually, I should turn on multi-core here, but let's keep that off because we're going to test this on the MacBook Air as well later on. And of plugins here, I use Repro. I did not activate high quality here. I just forgot to do that. And on the master chain here, I use Glow. This is included in the new version of Logic. This is something that I think you had to have the actual M CPU to get some of these working. So this is using some kind of optimized M ARM things. I don't know how it works, but you have to have the M CPU to have some of these to work. And same here with the mastering plugin. I wanted to try that one out. This is also using some kind of algorithm that you have to have the M CPU to get it to work. So I use the multiband compressor from FabFilter. I'm also using oversampling 2 here, and also I use natural phase aside EQ on the end here just to tighten up the stereo image a little bit. That's basically how this track worked in Logic. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at what settings we have. So on audio setting, it's on 48 kilohertz, and I'm running 128 buffer size and medium process buffer range. And on processing there, just actually have it on automatic. You can also select manually select 16 here if you want. So yeah, let's take a look at Ableton Live and a project there, see how that performs. So Ableton Live, 48 kilohertz. 256 samples. We are using my Fireface audio card. I didn't say that in the previous test, but now you know. This is also more or less a finished track, so I can play just a little part of it so you can get kind of the vibe. You can see that there is just audio on the start here, so that's a recording of the Moog. But yeah, I'll just try some different parts here so you can kind of see what we are dealing with. Yeah, so you can see the statistics here. So we have performance scores here from number 5 to number 16 here. So they are not maxing out. And obviously this project is not... Again, it's 25 tracks, but we can take a look at the plugins later on here. So utilization here didn't go much about 25%, I think it's here as well. And temperature, it's pretty hot in this room now, but it's around 68 degrees, max 74. And we can see the clock speed here and kind of the power above there. And kind of plugins I use, so I use FabFilter plugins here on the kick, and then we have kind of a low group here with an LFO tool. And then as for plugins, I'm using the Legend here. Yeah, a compressor from UAD, this one. Limiter here just to crush the bass a little bit. Have to do that sometimes. Then we have some bass here also played by the Legend. Legend is, I really like it. I got it for free, but it's a really nice VST. I like it a lot. Yeah, we have some other plugins here running some melodies and of course some effects of like EQ. So I use FabFilter plugins again, the EQ, the Q3. Yeah, that's basically the kind of the plugins I use on my tracks. Here on percussion I have used a vocoder included from Ableton Live and also EQ. So basically that's on all of kind of percussion tracks here using some kind of vocoder. Then we have the recorded audio from my synthesizer here and some reverb, Valhalla Supermassive, LFO tool, again a lot for sidechaining, EQ. It's kind of bread and butter plugins. On the return tracks I use different things, so Valhalla Supermassive here on the reverb, again another reverbs, and then a delay here using the included delay from Ableton, some parallel compression stuff using the C2 from FabFilter. Then we have the main track, the main master track here, compressor. I'm using this Gullfoss master thing, and a limiter, the L2. So that's kind of the plugins here. So you understand what type of plugins I use, and you can kind of understand how the performance is. Again, this is not a track with a lot of tracks. I tend to try to make tracks with lesser tracks now, a lot of tracks today. I just want to try to focus on getting the sounds as good as possible with less amount of layering. But yeah, I'm not really sure if this is really finished yet, but we can loop this a little bit and then again speed up the video and see how this kind of stuff develops on the charts here. Yeah, looks like that is working just fine. Again, it's not the most demanding track I have ever made on this machine. If you want to see how many tracks it's able to play, as I said in the beginning of this video, there I have other videos showing track count, so don't complain about that. You have to see another video about that. This is a video just showing real life project and kind of showing you around here what is happening with the systems while we are doing that. We are going to basically run the same test when I get the M3 15-inch MacBook Air. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if it's able to play these projects in real time as good as this laptop. It's not turning on the fans, I just want to say that. I don't hear any fan noise from the laptop. I know a lot of people are interested in that. I can't hear anything from here. So it seems like it's keeping the temperature below the fan speed, so I hope this was enlightening. I hope those projects gave you some insight in how this machine performs. People have asked me if I use Logic or if I use Ableton and why I do this, but one reason is because I kind of want to show it off on this YouTube channel. I bought Logic for like, I think it's 10 years ago, and I'm still getting updates from Apple, and that's one of the reasons I use Logic. I just want to see the new updates, for example, the new mastering plugin, the new saturation plugin. I just want to try it out, and basically when I have tried it out, I have a track there. So that's one of those tracks we actually saw today. So, but in most cases, I actually use Ableton Live. In probably 9.5 of 10 cases, I use Ableton Live. That's my main DAW. But as I said here, I have a 15-inch M3 MacBook Air with 16 gigs of memory on the way, and I'm going to do the same test with that one. But to be able to afford buying it, I have to sell the M3 Max I'm using here, and that is because this is going to be the last video about the M3 Max laptop. The MacBook Air M3 is actually going to be my main laptop for the foreseeable future, and a part of the sale is also going to that new synthesizer gear, the new audio gear, which I talked about in the previous video. I have also used the MacBook Pro as a desktop replacement machine, but I'm going to change that, and I'm going to go back to my Ryzen 7950X desktop PC for my main music production, and I'm going to use the MacBook Air for what it is. It's a laptop on the go and music production when I'm not at home, and I'm probably also going to edit videos on it. I'm not sure, we'll see. Might also get a hold of a Ryzen 9950X CPU, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get it anyways, but doesn't perform that much better than the 7950X apparently, but again, we'll see. Since I do this alone, I have to finance everything myself. I'm not complaining. It's not like someone is forcing me to do this, so no complaints there. So that's why you won't see me post videos about stuff at the second it releases on the market, but honestly for me that's just fine. Fits my kind of laid-back lifestyle, and I think it's more sustainable in the long term actually. Instead of throwing out benchmarks the second it releases and then just silence. If you have watched my previous videos, you know that I'm trying to refocus my time on what interests me, and especially what I think is fun to do. And it's this stuff. I think this is fun, talking to you and changing systems and workflows all the time. It's not necessarily ideal because you get some kind of downtime. But I have already this stuff set up here, so it doesn't really give me that much downtime. I can change between the systems pretty fast. So I have done it so many times now that it's not really a big deal for me. But I think it has to be seen in the context of this YouTube channel as well. When I make videos, hopefully I want to create something that is interesting for people to watch. And to be knowledgeable about how different systems work, I need to live it myself and change it up sometimes. So let's say Apple released an M4 Max Studio with a GPU equivalent of a 4080 or a 4090. And let's say hypothetically that most PC games would work in Mac OS somehow without running them through these emulation layers like Whiskey or Crossover or game porting toolkit and all that things. I would probably throw out my PC the second that would work and go for that. So but that's not going to happen, and thus we have a PC over there. So that's why. Again, I hope you get something out of these videos. I try to be as accurate as possible, but I of course do mistakes and I say the occasional wrong thing. Hopefully with time I will get better and at that, and yeah, that's all I want to see today. And if you have any content suggestions, something you want to see with the MacBook Air or a synthesizer or something, you can share your ideas in the comments below, because those are actually being taken serious. But that's all. Thanks for following, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.